So I think I've wasted pretty much my whole summer just doing surface level maintenance like the fluids, the filters, cosmetic stuff like waxing, polishing. I've spent days doing the detailing and stuff like that, but I haven't gotten really a full list or inspection of everything that's wrong with the truck. So last week I took it to the Ford dealership and I finally did that. I got this nice inspection report. It doesn't look good. Starting with fluids, this truck is leaking in 3 different places: power steering, the oil pan, and the rear main seal. That last one's the problem. The part itself is about 20 bucks, but the transmission has to come out of the truck to get to it. That's worrying to me because I've never dealt with anything like that. And on top of all that, there's an HVAC leak I need to fix too. In addition to the steering leak, I need new upper and lower control arms plus tie rod ends. These connect the steering to the front wheels, so I need to make sure that gets done soon. The brakes weren't checked, so I don't know how much wear they have, but I think it's safe to assume they'll need replacing soon. Lastly, the tech put on the inspection sheet that there's an engine shake. This isn't news to me. I was hoping the inspection would reveal the core issue, but I'll need to get a misfire diagnosis done for that. From what I've heard from the previous owner and a mechanic, 2 of the cylinders on this V6 aren't working properly, so that's not great. And good news, the inspection was free, my tire tread is good, and the battery cranked 503 amps against a 500 amp spec, so it passed. So while they were working on the truck, the dealership called and they told me that the terminals couldn't really be tightened while they were working on it, and so they offered to replace the terminals for $285. And I didn't think I heard that right. I was like $2.85. Like, no, $285 to replace the battery terminals. And I was like, that's more than what it costs for the battery itself, so no, I can do it myself. So on the way back from the dealership, I lost my keys over the weekend to the truck, and so I called a key cutter to come out and cut new keys and reprogram it to the truck. I think that cost about like $300. And as luck would have it, the next day I found the key to the truck, which is great. And I hadn't realized that because the new keys were reprogrammed, the old key wouldn't work. So when I tried to start the truck with the old key, I was seeing that everything lit up, even the media center was turning on, but the truck wasn't cranking at all. And so due to my lack of experience, I thought that it was the battery terminal issue that they told me about, even though they said the battery was at 100% and the truck started when I left the dealership. So I spent the next 2 hours learning about how to replace the terminals for that, when ultimately it really was just because I was using the wrong key. And I should have seen that with the anti-theft light flashing so much, but it just wasn't something I noticed. So I bought some epoxy terminals for $12.49, cable cutters for $16.99, and battery grease for $2.29. I couldn't get the epoxy terminals to fit on my battery, so I ran to AutoZone and got some Duralast terminals for $12.98. In total, with mistakes, I spent $47.37 and 2 hours learning how to replace my battery terminals. I also got some valuable knowledge from the guy working at AutoZone. He was genuinely helpful and he gave me a fun fact. Terminals are color-coded now because newer cars only run black wiring. There's no black and red to tell them apart. So I saved $237 on battery terminals, right after losing $300 in keys. I had my check engine light checked out at AutoZone and the scan gave one code, P0171, which is System 2 Lean Bank 1. Their suggested fix was a PCV valve and hose, but the cylinders that are supposedly dead are 3 and 5, and those are on opposite sides of the engine, and they're on different coils. So one vacuum leak on one side can't kill a cylinder on the other, and one bad coil can't kill both of them. And there's not a single misfire code on the whole scan, so I still don't know why this thing shakes. The misfire diagnosis is next, and that's the verdict. If it's bad enough, I'm not rebuilding a 3-liter. I'm just going to start looking at getting the V8 a lot sooner than I thought. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Well, I already know I give you love, but you ration yours.